for Cebu. And that injury by Paulo Hubalde, we're not seeing him on the floor or even on the bench right now para dito sa Cebu. And we'll probably hear from Sid later on yung status currently nito ni Paulo Hubalde. And very important because now, like you said, no natural point guard on the floor for Cebu. Although, remember, ECIJA starts off the quarter with a turnover. Martel to Brian Meca. Inside Ken Holmvis. Over Nick Demuses, short. Rob Celis will bring the ball down after grabbing the rebound. Celis. Demuses, kick out pass. Kenneth Mocon for free, no good. Rob Celis. Namitas lang ng bunga. Gets that basket plus a foul.
Coach Don Dulay has managed to use almost all of his players already in this game as he fields at Kenneth Mocon to start the second half. But here after the miss by Mocon, Celis, always very reliable on the offensive glass, having an end-one opportunity here for Nueva Ecija.
55-50 after that free throw make. Lian Martel puts it on the deck. Another turnover. Nueva Ecija in transition. Ball will stay with the Rice Vanguards. And Nueva Ecija so far has scored 18 points off the 12 turnovers in the first half by Cebu. Rob Celis can't get it to go. Martel with a rebound. Brian Meca gives it up to Mark Meneses against Nick Demuses. Meneses, Holmvis, catch and shoot, short. And this is gonna be the challenge para dito sa Cebu, who will generate offense for them on that side of the floor.
Yeah, I don't think Holmvis was ready to shoot it there. Medyo nabigla pa nga yata siya dun sa pasa.
Mocon steps into a long two-pointer. 5-0 to your special offer. And, meanwhile, let's go to Miss Sydney Crespo.
Coach Don Dulay took less than 2 minutes to call out his Nueva Ecija players inside the dugout. His speech clearly showed frustration over their first half performance. At this point, I think we all know how Nueva Ecija holds themselves to a high standard. So being up by just 2 at the half against a 7-man Cebu team is simply not enough. He says after this game, no one's taking a break. They'll be at practice in the next 11 days. On the other hand, Paulo Hubaldo sprained his ankle earlier. Napuwersa daw niya at nasa 8 out of 10 ng pain. As of the moment, he'll try to manage the pain so he can return later. Ken, Javi?
So, Paulo Hubalde, questionable to return para dito sa Cebu. And if you notice, ang bilis nga lang nung paglabas ng Nueva Ecija after that halftime huddle. And clearly, Coach Don Dulay not happy with what he saw in the first 2 quarters.
It's one of the things that you want to avoid when you're the top team and you're going up against teams at the bottom of the team standings. You want to avoid, that was the injury earlier of Paulo Hubalde. Going back to what I was saying, if you're Nueva Ecija, you want to avoid stooping down to the play of the teams dun sa baba. Ayaw mong ma-mirror yung effort at energy na meron yung mga nakakalaban mo dun sa baba. Hayaan mo na sila dun sa mga problema nila. But kayo, you have to continue to stay at that standard of excellence, one that you've shown throughout the entire season. And the reason, probably the main reason why you are still without a loss at this point of the season.
Meneses susugod. Blocked up top by Nick Demuses. So Demuses giving Nueva Ecija a little bit of everything here in this debut. Celis, PP hit sa ilalim, kissing it off the glass and in.
7 points now in the game para kay Robbie Celis. Slowly trying to take over right now for the Rice Vanguards. That has been somewhat of a trend this season. You know, whenever Nueva Ecija should try and go on a run. Robbie Celis usually at the forefront of that.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Whatever happens in the first half, whether it's a slow start or he was able to contribute a bunch of points already, asahan mo na talagang handa si Robbie Celis na mag-contribute for Nueva Ecija in whatever way possible in the second half.
Mecca inside, not forcing it. Martel can't get it to go. Meneses back to Lian Martel, glides in, can't convert. Calvo comes away with it for Nueva Ecija. Muses. Entry pass. Celis got blocked from behind by Dolan Adlawan. John Hamon against JP Calvo. Hamon able to fish a foul against JP Calvo.
Yeah, Calvo just could not avoid getting his hands inside the cookie jar there. Hamon absolutely baited him into committing that foul.
Former EAC General at the line. This free throw at sa atin ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Making good on the first free throw, John Hamon. That's the first point for Cebu in this quarter. And you see the free throw shooting, only 40%. 2 of 2 though by John Hamon. 59-52. Bounce pass, Byron Villarreal, straight away free, no good. Cebu holding Nueva Ecija to one shot. Martel. Brian Mecca. 12 on their shot block. Mecca. Entry pass, Martel. Not blocked. It will stay on their side. Only 4 on their shot block.
That is the mark of a true leader. Celis recognizing the mismatch. He knew he had to help out, and he just came from where he was standing so that he could have that chance to block the shot, and that's exactly what happened.
Also what Mocon did on that John Hamon shot. 1 second left. Oh, great pass! Meneses though can't finish. Celis in transition. John Hamon got a piece of that one. And ball will go back to Cebu. Four minutes gone by in the third period. Just 7 points separating these two squads. Mecca. Calvo all over him. Hamon asking for it. Now dumps it down low to Mark Meneses, who continues to miss from point-blank range.
And that's 2 straight coming from Meneses.
Oh, the crossover, Celis. Draws a foul.
He's always been such a simple player, and that's definitely not a knock on him. It is Robbie Celis, but despite the simplicity, he still has been able to generate some great plays for himself and for his team that sometimes even end up on the highlight reel.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Missing the first free throw though, Rob Celis. Nueva Ecija has yet to create some separation here. 1 out of 2 at the line for Celis. 9 points, 6 rebounds. Martel. Release pass to John Hamon. Adlawan fakes, drives. Going right at Celis. Rob Celis with his second block. Ken Mocon will pull it back out. JP Calvo, his first attempt. It's good from downtown.
You could tell that he was waiting for it. Could have made the decision to just dump it off to Robbie Celis, but he saw that there was an opportunity to line up a shot did not hesitate one bit.
11-2 scoring run by Nueva Ecija. And a backing violation called on CEBU. This was JP Calvo stepping into a 3. His first points as a Rice Vanguard. Previously had a stint with Parañaque this season, but finding his way into a contender in the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Mocon lobs it up to Celis. Swing past Calvo, papunta kay Byron Villarias, who can't knock down that 3. He reloads and scores! He will not be denied this time. Villarias with a free. Of course, Joe Ramos, Captain Marbel, Kenneth Duremdes, and Nueva Ecija pouring it on here. And they have outscored CEBU in this quarter by 14 points, 68-52 now, the biggest lead at 16.
Cebu's only managed 2 points here in the third quarter.
The Muses with a steal. Ken Mocon can't finish. The Muses inside. And there was a foul on CEBU.
Oh, he is just a beast on the glass in this game. Ito si Nick Demusis. This was the trap on Martel. Celis picks it up and Calvo says bye-bye. On the ensuing play, they force another turnover against CEBU, which leads to this opportunity for the Muses for 2 points at the line.
So play nga lang yung kanyang unang free throw. Paulo Ubalde returns gingerly on the bench.
And nabanggit kanina ni Sid na 8 out of 10 yung pain. That's pretty high and it's going to be very difficult for him to come back, and I would understand kung hindi na rin siya pabalikin dito ng kanyang team.
Again, Ms. Risa Diaz also is involved in the WMPBL.
Yes. Who I think are gonna start their new season very soon also.
Yeah, this month. Alam ko later this month yan eh. If not on the 21st, I think on the 28th. Turnover again against CEBU.
Those guys definitely doing a good job of putting the spotlight on the rising women bowlers here in our country.
Oh yeah, for sure. And also, when you look at the final series that they had, Nick Demusis, say it with your chest, basket and 1.
He's pumped up, you could tell. And he's just very happy to be back here in the MPBL.
The rest of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Obviously, in the PBA, there are a lot more taller players, and he's primarily a guy who plays the 2 and 3 spot para sa rain or shine. But here, you could expect him to also slide up to the 4 spot, as he has been doing so far for the Rice Vanguards in this game.
Turnover again. Calvo. Oh, too strong. Demusis. Basket will be waved off as he was called for a pushing foul.
Well, Hamon did a good job of selling that. Could have been another rebound and putback para kay Nick Demusis.
3:13 left here in the third. Mecca, full head of steam, high off the glass, wala. Ooh, Demusis. And Adlawan getting entangled. So Dolan Adlawan called for that foul. Nick Demusis heading back to the line. Demusis averaged 8.3 points, 3.1 rebounds when he played for Bacoor back in Season 3. And was teammates with guys like Mike Cañete, Gab Banal, Mike Mabulak, Mark Pangilinan, Mark Montuano.
That was quite the team.
Yeah. And that season, they made it to the playoffs. They were second in the league at 24-6. Won against Jensen in the quarterfinals, but lost to Basilan. That was the Gerson Cabildes-led squad that made it all the way to the South Division Finals. But they took them to the limit. That took 3 games. As we see a turnover again committed by Cebu. Under 3 minutes left. John Wilson sets his feet but can't convert on a three-pointer. Demuses hands it off to Calvo. Demuses, kick out pass, Mocon for free. Gets it to go! This lead has ballooned to 24 points. It's a 24-2 quarter for the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards.
Nueva Ecija only averages 7 3-point makes per game, which brings you to the assumption that they don't really rely much on the three-pointer to generate offense. But when they can, they definitely have no problems about having it. Up to 10 three-pointers now in this game against Cebu at Nueva Ecija.
Cebu has yet to make a field goal here in the third. Adlawan puts it up. No good. Forward pass. Ayaay. Oh, Adlawan was called for that foul after he went for that block.
That's number 4 already against him.
So I think a couple of guys with 4 fouls already para dito sa Cebu. Or hindi, si Adlawan lang, no? So Adlawan's the one in foul trouble with 4. And, you know, itong si Ovalde, still questionable to return. So troubling times if you're the Cebu Classic. 78-52, 26-point lead. Steal here by JC. Mocon kick out. Wilson buries a triple. And Cebu no choice but to LGR. Fan of the game is brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. 29 points lamang ng Nueva Ecija. 27-2 quarter para sa kanila.
They have under 2 minutes to try and match the lowest total in a quarter. That was 4 points.
Hamito called for that foul.
Foul on number 1, jumper Hamito penalty, his second.
So Cebu has a chance to add on to their point total. They have yet to make a field goal here in this quarter.
Holmqvist, after a good start to this game, hasn't been able to contribute since then. He had a stretch of 5 straight points, and that was it.
(81-53). Mocon. Touch passing leads to Ayaay taking that shot. Meneses clears it for Cebu. Forward pass. Martel catches it. Hamito intercepts it, but ball will stay with Cebu. 28-point lead. Brian Mecca yet to score in this ball game. Actually, he's the only guy who has yet to produce para dito sa Cebu. Ito si Brian Mecca. Just 0 of 4 shooting from the field.
15 to shoot.
80 seconds to go here in the third. Adlawan. Back to Brian Mecca. Against JC Marcelino. Entry pass to Dolan Adlawan. Has 4 fouls. He heads back to the line. And he has struggled from that distance. Only 3 of 7 tonight.
2 free throws. Dolan Adlawan.
Tolad Adlawan.
These guys certainly should work on their free throws for the coming games ahead. But I'm sure we're going to see a lot more surprises from their side in the coming days, which I'm very excited to hear
Yeah.
about.
That's the thing that's exciting about this Cebu team. Sino yung mga papasok, no? Dito sa magiging rebranded version nitong Cebu. And, you know, even if they lose this game, they still have that outside shot of making it to the play-in.
For sure. And if they actually do even better than expected or better than what they envisioned themselves to, they might actually get to book themselves a sure playoff spot. And of course, that's gonna take a lot. Pero hindi yan imposible para
Yeah.
sa Cebu at this moment.
And, you know, just before turmoil happened with this team, they were one of the best defensive teams in the league. They were
The second best.
second best, in fact. But you know, there were things beyond their control, and you know, it's you just feel for these players na you know they take pride in representing this beautiful province. As we have a foul called on Ken Mokol. Free throws coming up again. Baka dito sa Cebu.
Aside from the fact that it's a beautiful province, it's definitely one of the hotbeds of basketball in the country. A lot of prominent names have come from Cebu. And actually, we have a lot of Cebuanos spread out here in the MPBL alone. But of course, a lot of Philippine basketball legends coming out of that beautiful, beautiful province.
Dolan Adlawan, second guy in double figures with 12 points. Also 4 rebounds. 6 of 11 though at the line. Just 54.5%. 83-56. Ayaay. Skip pass. Tancinco lines it up. Short. Martel with a rebound. 30 seconds to go here in the third. Meneses having trouble. Steal again. Hamito. Forward pass. JC Marcelino lost the basketball on his way up.
22 total turnovers right now for Cebu in this game.
Adlawan. He will be tasked to bring the ball down for Cebu. Wala pang field goal ang Cebu dito in this quarter. All 6 of their points came from free throws. Mecca has yet to score. He lost it. Tancinco, a second remaining. Ayaay will not get it off in time.
Third quarter ends.
And T6 at the end of 3 quarters. Nueva Ecija with a 27-point lead. This should be a fun one. July 12, kalaban ang Abra Solid North Weavers. Again, special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer.
And if my memory serves me right, it's gonna be a home game, I believe, para sa Abra. Basta either Abra or Nueva Ecija, it's gonna be played in either or's home court. So that's, regardless, that's definitely gonna be a game na dapat abangan natin lahat. I'm sure everybody has that marked on their calendars. July 12.
Yeah. 2 of the hottest teams in the league right now. Abra is in the midst of a 12-game winning run. Obviously, Nueva Ecija undefeated, 15-0. Mecca escapes, floats it up. Wala pa rin siyang putos dito. Boy, and also, it comes at a time where both of them, Nueva Ecija and Abra, have beefed up their lineups, Javi.
That's why it's very exciting to see that, considering all the changes that they've made. Of course, Nueva Ecija coming in with JP Calvo and Nick Demusis. Abra, meanwhile, we already saw the announcement earlier today, Jeo Chu joining them to beef up their front line. While we also saw during that last home game of theirs, Simon Camacho was sitting behind the Weavers bench. So I do expect him to be a new part of their team. And I believe there might be another player coming in. I'm just not sure who.
Yan nga eh. Merong mystery player na sasali para dito sa Abra. Abangan nyo yan. Adlawan, relentless. Mecca grabs the offensive rebound. And a little bit out of sorts are CEBU. Another turnover leads to more turnover para dito sa CEBU.
It took them that long.
Para dito sa CEBU.
It took them that long. More than 12 minutes.
JC. His shot rolls out. Mecca facing a double team. Release pass to Ken Holmvis, who fires from beyond the arc and rattles it in. 5 straight points for CEBU. 91-61. Tancinco. Inside, Ayaay. Flip shot, no good. Holmvis clears it for CEBU. Holmvis, long free. Back-to-back three-pointers for Ken Holmvis. Third guy in double figures with 12 points. Also 7 rebounds. John Wilson sa bandang kaliwa. Nice bawiin yung tres. Short. Mecca tracks it down. Will not force the issue. Pulls it back out to Adlawan. Martel. You could see Coach Paulo Hubalde directing traffic from the sidelines. But those turnovers have been costly against CEBU.
It's really very difficult para sa CEBU to really keep the basketball on their side of the floor, considering wala nga silang true point guard.
Foul number 25, MJ Agayan.
29-point lead. Fast break the game, at sa atin Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
And Nueva Ecija has been unforgiving on the defensive end, just really trapping to their heart's content and trying to force a lot of errors on these CEBU players.
Head of Operations, Emereta. Head of Security, Rudy Distrito. You got Joe Ramos and Commissioner Kenneth Turemdes. Mecca committing his first foul. Almost 4 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Nueva Ecija in cruise control after a tight first half. And what do you think about the performances in their first games of Nick Demusis and JP Calvo para dito sa Nueva Ecija, Javi?
Demusis has definitely given a lot of energy, especially on the glass para sa Nueva Ecija. JP Calvo, still a little bit of getting used to trying to play with his current batch of teammates, but I'm sure the veteran that he is, that he'll be able to adjust eventually.
While Mecca finally getting himself on the board with his first 2 points. Demusis with a steal. John Wilson fires. No. Meneses grabs the rebound. For CEBU, no more Jeco Bancale. He is now with Mindoro. And from what I understand, maglalaro na rin yan on Saturday si Jeco. So yun nga, yung inaabangan natin si CEBU, sino yung mga bagong players that could help them revitalize their stint here. Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Well, there is one player that I think ang pinakainabangan talaga nila eh. And the clue was he's a former UAP champion and former PBA champion as well.
Yeah.
A lot of names come to mind, but if he's coming from Cebu, I think there's one guy that really fits the bill. And he hasn't played yet this season for any team, but he did play last year. Naisip mo ba ako sino?
Napaisip mo, Happy. Oh, Nick the Muses with a strong drive to the basket.
He's had John Hammond's number the entire game.
And they've been going at it from the start.
Foul on number 55, John Ramon is second.
Great forward pass issued by Kenneth Mocon. You can still see that the Muses still possesses that athleticism.
Yeah.
The control in the air too, also very impressive, finishing through the contact.
London Arenas making his first appearance.
Well, that now signifies that Coach Don Dulay has been able to use all players in his lineup today, all 15 players.
Martel. Meneses. Elbow jumper. No. Calvo comes away with it for Nueva Ecija. 97-66. Mocon. Short. Another rebound by Meneses. John Hamon contorts himself in midair. Got fouled.
Foul on number 2, JP Calvo.
Calvo commits that foul.
JP Calvo,
Calvo with 5 fouls.
Congratulations, Mr. Calvo. You made it on your first game for Nueva Ecija. Give that guy a diploma.
John Hamon at the line.
Shooting 2.
Former EAC General, John Hamon. You know, they started this season. Ang dami nilang pyesa sana, Javi, no? They had Garen Mendoza in there. Yun nga, binanggit ko na, Jeco Bangkale, Rashawn McCarthy, Ladis Lepalam, Dennis Santos. And they could have made a deep run here. Although hindi pa naman tapos tong season. And we're saying that because magiging ano na to retooled na tong roster nito once the new management comes in full force. But you know, all they have to do is move forward, and for them, they're set their sights on just getting into the play-in. Brian Mecca, after being scoreless in the first 3 quarters, now has 4 points in the fourth, and a free throw coming up.
I don't think you can keep a scorer as good as Brian Mecca scoreless the entire game, especially if he's managed to play almost the entirety of this match. There's just no way you could keep him off the board.
The Danao City native, Brian Mecca, completes the 3-point play.
At yung maganda kasi dito, Ken, itong bagong chapter that Cebu will flip in its book this season is that mas marami na talagang mga Cebuano ang magre-represent dito sa team na ito. Among the players, aside from the players that will be suiting up eventually for this team, I'm also excited to know who is going to be the one calling the shots as the head coach.
Oh yeah.
Dahil I think Coach Mike Reyes might be out of the picture because of his new appointment as FEU's new head of basketball operations, new president of basketball operations. By the way, congrats again, Coach Mike, for that new job. So I still have no news kung sino ang magiging bagong head coach nitong Cebu.
174, 26-point lead. 2 minutes and 46 seconds left. Clark Derrigue. Shot down by Dolan Adlawan. Mokon inside. Meneses with another board. Forward pass broken up by Ryan Costello. Mark Meneses with 10 points and 12 rebounds. I know it's still probably 3 weeks away as Janamon scores another three-pointer. How do you see that matchup play out, Javi? Nueva Ecija versus Abra.
Well, definitely going to be a battle of experience versus youth. But despite the youth, Abra has shown the whole league that their youth is not a disadvantage para sa kanila. And in fact, has been more of an advantage rather than a disadvantage. Because of their youth, they have been able to play fast. They've been able to use different schemes offensively and defensively. And Coach Yong Garcia has come up with some unorthodox ways of coaching this team that has really gained the Weavers a lot of success.
And guys like CJ Austria, Joshua David have been rounding out the form after a slow start and then professional debuts. But boy, David Defonso pretty much scintillating para sa Abra. But of course, Nueva Ecija with a retooled lineup, still undefeated. The Marcelino twins, Robbie Celis in there. As we check out this player of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Sama mo pa to si Nick Demuses in the equation.
No, he's definitely going to be one of the options for Coach Don Dulay to put on Dave Ildefonso in that game. Demuses possesses the height, he has the speed, and he has that upper body strength to keep it step with a young DI.
And the experience as well.
Correct, of course.
Tres ni Don Arenas. Pasok yan. 103-78. Because, no, just from my memory bank, parang wala pa nakakalaban si Dave na siguro kasing experience, kasing tatag nito ni Nick Demuses. No, I know he had a hard time against AJ Coronel when they lost to Pasay, but that was a time where he was still trying to adjust to the MPBL brand of basketball. But since that loss, he has been on a tear. And that's a welcome matchup, no? Yung Dave Ildefonso versus Nick Demuses. That block by Clark Derigue on that Mark Meneses shot.
I'm sorry, I have to correct myself. Hindi pa pala nagamit lahat ng players ng Nueva Ecija dito sa laro na to. Bobby Balocanag still without minutes on the floor in this game.
Arenas, Costello flips it up and in.
But aside from Bobby B, the rest of the team, lahat ng ginamit dito ay nakascore na para kay Coach Don Dulay.
105-78. Hombes can't get that three to go. As Nueva Ecija continues to run. Costello, short stab, no. 30 seconds remaining. And a rousing debut para dito kay Nick Demuses. Announcing his entry in this lineup nitong Nueva Ecija. 16 wins without a loss. Arenas. Second three-pointer of the ball game for Don Arenas. Adlawan short. And Nueva Ecija will just burn some time here. The final score, 30 points. After a tough first half, CEBU.
Double-double performance para kay Nick Demuses in his Nueva Ecija debut.
That's part of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your